What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in the early days of Pacific Aire, and how did you overcome them?
You know, when you start a business, there's the little challenges like making sure you can pay your employees, make sure you pay your vendors, and hoping your customers pay you. When we started in Pacific Aire, we were a new construction company. Back in the late 80s, 90s, there was a lot of construction in California, especially Ventura County. Ventura County was growing quite rapidly, so we did a lot of new construction. So you were trusting builders to pay you, which is, customers are a lot nicer than builders. Builders like to hold money. So it was just making sure that you ran an efficient machine, that we had the resources to be able to make sure and pay our employees first, and then our vendors second, and then hopefully some left over for me. So that's any entrepreneur. Anybody that starts off in business, that's the struggles you have when you start off, because there's nobody writing you a check as far as your pay. It's pretty much you got to make it happen. So the more mechanical challenges probably were technicians in the early days. Back then because we were a small company, we were dependent on finding people that were trained, people that had experience.
I have quite a bit of experience. Not, like exactly doing it, but I've started it. And I talk to people who have done it. I've seen the videos, and I feel very confident that with my knowledge, I could do it, no problem.
And it was hard to find people. Ventura County in the 90s didn't have a lot of air conditioning. It was a lot of heat-only market, beach community, and it was mild weather. And to find technicians that could do the job was a struggle. So you were always looking for that person. Now we're a lot more fortunate because we teach our own, and we have labs and training facilities, and we can hire the person and turn the person into a great tech. But back then, technicians were a struggle. And finding work.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't
setting
market
ourselves
back
apart.
then. Yeah.
Just really, how do we set ourselves from the rest of the competition out there, and developing the why you want to do business with Pacific Aire philosophy, and building value and giving customers more than what they perceived our cost was worth. That was a big evolution. I think that was a lot of work to figure that out. Keeping up with technology over the years. As we all know, everything in our world is becoming very technology based. Keeping our call center up to speed with how to talk to customers, how to work on, call center. I know, what is that word?
Me answering the phone.
Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute?
Today it was you and I and one other person, and now we have an amazing call center, but just learning how to use databases and teaching our technicians how to work on equipment that's ran by computers. And
I love hearing her use these terms, because when we started this, pages.
Yeah, true, yellow pages. Filing.
And filing. There were no, I literally had a computer, my partner at the time put a computer in my office saying that, I need to learn to use a computer. What's a computer? And it sat in my office for 4 years, and I never turned the thing on. It was like that was for accounting people to use those. I did everything manually. I drew plans. I made spreadsheets.
I remember your
pricing.
plans.
Oh yeah.
I remember your little shelf that you had that you used to draw your.
I remember New Year's Eve in 1995. I was having a party at my house, and my mother, who's a nerd, I would call her, she loved computers, and she showed me Excel, and it changed my life. And I stayed up to like 3 in the morning playing on this new software called Excel, and it made me totally immerse myself in the computers, and then things just started going faster and faster. And this is the mid-90s, and it's been a long time ago. And then I had to be the front line. It's like everything had to be scanned and paperless, and going to customers' homes, it was always, was it NCR paper? Or was it the 2 copies, and you fill out invoices and talk to customers. And
oh yeah, that was fun. They were a small little scorecard that had customer information, what we did, and a signature, and that's about it. I remember we used to file those things by alphabetical order. That was one of my early jobs back in the day as a young child. Heaven forbid a customer called up wanting to know what we did, because now we had to go find that file somewhere.
I don't know, and I don't know why. Stop asking me.
And it was a machine. And then when we got our first database, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah. So a lot of changes in the world and When you have a company for 34 years, you go through those processes to very manual to now every one of our technicians have their own little computer in their hand and they have instant information for the customer and the product and the equipment. We're back there and you had to know it. If they went to a different piece of equipment, they had to know how to work on that equipment.
The transparency now is amazing. Our software that we have and the ability for a customer to see live pictures of their equipment and see live stats on their equipment, it's an amazing advancement in our industry.
Not sure if I answered your question.